Hey guys, this is Dan back from the AddMeGamers channel, and today I'm going to be continuing my StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we're going to have AiCytoplasm and LucifroN in, I do believe the map is Daybreak, so on the top right corner we do have LucifroN as the green Terran player, and on the bottom left we do have AiCytoplasm as, of course, the purple Zerg player. This is again the Msi Pro Cup 12 tournament, so it did finish some time back, but I'm going to be covering it until I do mainly cover majority of the games before I switch to another tournament. So do of course leave your feedback in terms of what you think and what exactly you'd like me to cover specifically, and of course in case I am making something wrong, do mention that as well. I do have a little bit of feedback from users so far, and it is helping me out just a little bit on improving my commentaries. Anyways, let's get back to the game. Nothing really happening, of course. Both the players are going to be continually droning up, including LucifroN and AiCytoplasm. We do have AiCytoplasm sending off that first Overlord scout, so he's going to try to see where exactly LucifroN is. So he should pretty much manage to scout out LucifroN with that scout. We do have that second hatchery already being produced for AiCytoplasm, so AiCytoplasm did immediately jump to that second hatchery even without the spawning pool. So he is going for that second hatchery expansion, and the same thing we do have by LucifroN going for that second command center down first, though, but that command center did go first before the barracks itself, so we do have again the command center first build, and maybe we should have that supply depot here. No, we do have another barracks. It seems to be pretty famous. I do believe the last game I managed to record, which was between TS Symbol and Supernova, if I'm not mistaken, it was really a same build, same wall off in terms of LucifroN here, so he might have picked that off if he was watching the game and he decided to do the same thing. It's pretty interesting to see that the players are really actually able to view other people's plays, so he did pick that off and he decided to use, I do believe, the same methodology for walling that off. The first Overlord, of course, is going to be moving up, so he should pretty much spot him now. The second command center is going to be finished, it's going to be morphing into an orbital command, so we should have double mules as always. Really no planetaries. There's no point in building planetaries in the base off itself. The majority of times when the actual Terran player decides to place a planetary is when he does have the command center in a vulnerable place, and he can't really support it with continuous streaming of units. So for example, if it's in a really bad place, like for example this one here, there's the support is pretty much far away, so he's most probably going to build you can say planetary defense for command centers a little further off, but finally that Overlord is going to be pretty much able to scout that out. We do have that SCV moving back down. Did he manage to scout anything off? No. He did actually move down with a scout and did manage to scout out both the bases, so he knows he's also on a 2-base push. AiCytoplasm, so LucifroN is a little bit more comfortable, especially when it comes down to Zerg, because if Zergs do decide to rush, that's really it. You really have to counter act that pretty quickly, but LucifroN is a little bit breathing easier. He's going to be doing that wall off, I presume, supply depot, and maybe a bunker in the back, so it really depends on how he decides to wall it off though. And we do have that one Marine streaming down, and of course more Overlords streaming across the map. This one's being placed here to provide a very nice vision. Of course, LucifroN can't see this, so third hatchery coming down as well, and Zerglings coming online. We do have the tech lab, so we should hopefully see some Marauders, and factory as well, and barracks. So Marauders and double Marines coming up from Marauders from this, double Marines from there, and really AiCytoplasm is just busy droning up. He's not really doing anything. He's just mainly focused on getting those bases up and running and getting that economy. Stim research coming online for LucifroN. So we hopefully should see a little bit of aggression. We do have that engineering bay online, so we should see those 1-1 upgrades as well. And that wall off is continuing, so we are going to have a complete supply depot wall off here. No bunker at all. He might place one in the back. It really depends on how he decides to play with that. And is he going to even be bothered with that? No, he did produce that reactor, so maybe those double Hellions. Yes, we do have those double Hellions. So it'll be most probably either a double Hellion harass or it'll be a Hellion Marauder Marine push, as it was pretty famous in that previous game that I mentioned before, as I do believe LucifroN did see that, so he is in a way trying to copy that same strategy that was played in that previous game before, but it seems that LucifroN is going to be moving forward. No, he's not going to be moving forward with those Hellions. Doesn't even want to bother with that harass. We do have that combat shield, and that one weapons upgrade for LucifroN. So far so good. Finally Cytoplasm is getting those 1-1 upgrades, both armor and weapons with those double evolution chambers. And no units so far. We do have again 6 drones. We do just have those queens for defense for Cytoplasm, so really he's a little bit vulnerable here, as those Hellions can pretty much run around the map freely. No spine callers, nothing really in place for Cytoplasm, so he should be a little bit nervous. Now we have those 2 spine callers being placed down, of course, to try to defend probably the flank. Let's take a look. Where are those spine callers being placed? He should be, yes, in the main center as well, so he wants to prevent anybody charging up to his main and secondary base. So that's pretty much it. A very smart move. He is a little bit nervous, of course. That's why he placed those down. Those Hellions are being moved forward. He's going to be waiting. He is actually going to be pushing. A scan comes down. He's going to be taking out those creep tumors to prevent that creep from spreading, as it is creeping up on the actual Zolnaga tower, and that's making a little bit LucifroN a little bit nervous. So here come the queens, and the queens should pretty much scare off the Hellions, but really LucifroN, all he intended to do was to recede that creep from spreading. Of course the queen should pretty much chase them off, and here finally comes that push as predicted. We do have the Marine Marauder and Hellion push, a very, very similar play to the previous game that was played between Polt and Supernova. So I do believe LucifroN actually just nicked that strategy from that game itself, as you most probably watched it. That first queen drops, of course, nicely fried by those Hellions. More push, a lot of Hellions, but those queens will pretty much do a lot of damage against those Hellions. But finally that bio comes in to back it up with those spine crawlers. A little bit too late. That first spine crawler drops, Zerglings streaming across. The second queen's going to drop, third one as well. That's pretty much it. Stimmed units pretty much are going to rip through the Zerglings, as their little cute little things are going to die. There's really nothing they can do. Overload's being moved up. I don't know why Cytoplasm is doing this with the overloads. He's going to lose those overloads just for a little bit of Msi Micro, and that should pretty much be the end of the game for Cytoplasm. Of course, the third bait drops, and he's going to be moving down, and they're pretty much mopping up the rest of the base itself. He's just making sure, cleaning up the scan drops to take care of those creep tumors. Creep tumors are being taken out as well. A couple of more Zerglings. Bailings, a nice little Bailing bust. Will it be worth it? No, it's a complete failure. Those Marauders do target fire those Bailings down, and that's pretty much it. Of course, 6 more Bailings morphing in, 12 more Zerglings, and we do have a Spire a little bit too late. Mutalisks, by the time they do even bother coming online, they will be pretty much picked off, and he decides to block off the actual drones from retreating. Very nice play by LucifroN, and more Bailings coming down, trying to bust the actual Hellions. Now moving down to the Marines themselves. Marines and Marauders drop, and he just has 1 Hellion left, but I do believe this is pretty much it for Cytoplasm. Cytoplasm really couldn't be bothered. We do have Siege Tank, Siege Research coming online. We do have level 1 as well, and level 2 weapons for the Marines themselves, and of course 2 actual starports. So he's going to be producing maybe some Banshees with a medevac mix. This is pretty going to be interesting. More racks coming online. So this is pretty much it for Cytoplasm. The economical damage that he did take is not going to be able to sustain or even come back from this, as Cytoplasm is not going to be able to build up that quick, and LucifroN is really going all out now into actual production. Of course, Cytoplasm desperately trying to produce any amount of damage, but it's going to be nicely mopped up, as LucifroN does spread those Marines very nicely, and Cytoplasm knows that that's pretty much it, so when he calls it a good game. So this is game 1 between Cytoplasm and LucifroN. I do believe LucifroN did pick off that strategy from the previous game, as mentioned before. It was a very, very similar strategy used as before, but unfortunately it didn't continue to progress a little further, though. I would really want to see what he'd want to do with those double starports, if he's actually going to go for that double medevac, or maybe one of them would produce double medevacs and the other one would produce those Banshees. That would have been very, very lethal, but very nice play from LucifroN. He did change that strategy as played before, and he did throw in those double starports, and unfortunately didn't continue to play. I really was interested to see how that would play out. Well, happy gaming, and see you guys in game 2.